intimate.
To be that close to someone that I've been pushed together with, I think I would have a panic attack, actually. This really sounds like my nightmare.
I can't. I, like, literally can't. Holy smokes. This must be the same wedding, because look at how many people there are.
Do you think if
Same vibe.
Do you think if their parents were still alive, it would make them less likely to want? Or do you think they wouldn't care?
I
trying to take a screenshot.
Like,
Hey, Mr. Shadow, it's going good.
And the nude wedding only.
Yes.
I feel like then
I always
they probably
mess
would have
up
given
taking
into, like, 2
screenshots.
receptions.
I want to get a before
Yeah,
picture
do you
though
think
before
that they would feel weirder about
eat it.
trying to force their parents to show up nude? Or would
Probably.
that, I don't know if maybe if you have that mindset, you don't even...
I would. This is a huge thing, you guys.
There's so many nude weddings.
Oh, shit, my
There are
phone's
so many nude wedding pictures.
Where's my
Like, this lady has 2 big daisies. It was on the news. New TLC show, Buying Naked, about nudists, will only show bare rear ends. Every shot of the front of the woman has, like, flowers blocking her boobs.
Man, TLC has everything. They've got every kind of show.
TLC is
If you're gonna make a show about
never
a
going
nudist
out of
camp,
business.
you
They
gotta
find
go
the
full
funniest-
bush, baby.
This isn't like as niche. Well, I guess it is because it's nude.
Well, don't
weddings
force people.
specifically, But they find the
As
most
long as they feel
niche
comfortable with it. But
people.
also,
And
you're making a documentary about a nudist
Love
camp.
I'll never get over the story about the guy,
Be
like,
nude.
my crazy strange obsession, and he was in love with his car and would get under
I
it and, like, make love.
I love that story.
love
And
to
by
the
the
car.
way, the blue Porsche from the movie Cars, she's a gorgeous. You know the cartoon you've ever seen? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Of course I know what you're talking about, but this is, like, one of those things where it's like,
She's a beautiful woman.
what's like a character that, like, just has, like, attraction, and Spirit the horse comes up a lot.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
I get that one.
We're called Hear Me Out characters.
Because I made a Guess Who board based on everyone at the party's cartoon sexual awakening, and Spirit the horse was on there.
Spirit the horse. I don't know if that was mine. I'm trying to think what mine was, but I definitely had the hots for the horse.
Yeah, like
I don't remember,
Simba's
but
a big
does
one.
Spirit
That was
even talk in the movie?
That like the Red Riding Hood guy.
'Cause I don't think he
was in the
does.
cartoon as well. Yeah, lots of cartoon. I mean, there are some weirder ones, like some My Little Pony types.
Okay.
But that's not that weird compared to all the options. There's just something about it. Did
Did anyone have Shrek?
No one had Shrek.
That kind of surprises me, because I could feel some people being super into Shrek.
I bet maybe they were too embarrassed to say. Maybe people are.
No
scared
one.
to admit.
Could you imagine being
But,
too embarrassed?
You know, moral of the
Hello,
story
Mar.
is,
Could you
I
imagine
don't
being too
blame
embarrassed to say
those
you were
people
into
for wanting
Shrek,
to
but
have
you admitted you were into
abuse
Spirit the
No.
horse?
I don't blame them for having that be a meaningful experience for them. The most
I need a
meaningful. It's
thicker
your wedding.
pen.
You should do whatever you want to do for your wedding, but you cannot expect other people ever in general to be naked if they don't want to be naked. That's just very basic.
Yeah, and I feel like the brother is just, like, kind of almost being, like, reverse shamey, where it's like, what do you mean? Just be nude. Like,
Yeah.
but it's like, you're not respecting
His
their
eyes are
choice.
brown?
They're respecting yours,
Oh.
actually.
Right.
I got a
Like, have your
photo
wedding
off
the way you
Pinterest as
want
my
it, how you
thing.
want it. That's cool. I'll just pay for one.
That's
another
my
one. We get
reference, and
bonus-
it wasn't a
bonus
close-up,
reception.
so-
Like, make everyone comfortable, have a good time. Also, I always wonder with people that are naturists, you have to put clothes on to go to the grocery store.
Yeah.
So there's certain societal expectations still that are in place. Like, why are you
Should I just use a
expecting
marker?
others to, like, not live life the way they find comfortably? I don't know.
Right.
It's interesting.
I'm usually on
Yeah,
the
I didn't know
side
his
of
eyes
the
are
people
brown.
having the wedding.
I guess
think,
that makes
like,
more sense.
For a day like
Oh, thank you.
that, you can have your expectations. You can ask people to do things that they might not like. Wasn't that like a puppet wedding?
Yeah.
There was a puppet, and you know, people
Yeah.
were giving them shit, and I was like, if they want to have a puppet wedding, that's their prerogative.
Oh my god, that one's so old too. Yeah, they wanted puppets, but, like, I think they were making their guests buy expensive puppets. Was that the thing?
Oh, that was the kicker.
And it's like,
They're like really nice, expensive puppets.
let your guests just even hand make them, and then it's a beautiful memory.
Right.
That'd be
Yeah.
funnier,
Nudity,
actually.
Puppets.
If you're having a puppet wedding, you
Yeah.
have to embrace
Top
the
comment on this one.
absurdity
They're
of
probably
it.
pissed you're just another person who is refusing to come, and since you're family, it's easier to guilt you.
That's true.
They're probably receiving a lot of pushback, just like
Right.
RSVP no. RSVP no.
Yeah, I wonder how many people of my friends would be willing to do that. I think a fair number of them would,
I think.
but it wouldn't be all of the people that I love and would want to come to something like that.
My friends and family would hit me with a rock. Like, there's no way. They'd be like, are you okay? No, absolutely not.
That's how you could save on food costs at a wedding.
If you want to get rid of people from your guest list,
Right.
nude wedding.
Yeah, you're like, well, I invited you.
What do you mean?
I invited all of you. It's not my fault you didn't come.
You could have enjoyed my wedding. You just chose not to. God, that in itself is triggering. Okay, moving along. One of this week's partners is Babbel. Getting there. Actually, puffy. Ready for your story?
My story? Oh, yeah.
I'm so excited.
You guys, I prepared a story.
I am ready.
I'm interested to see if you've already read this.
Okay.
Because it actually is very triggering. I think it would fit the theme.
Okay, here we go.
All right. Am I the asshole? And this is from the Am I the Asshole subreddit.
Okay.
For being rude to my stepdaughter and banning her from eating with the family. I have two stepdaughters, Scarlett 18 and Ava 16. Scarlett is an amazing singer. She's been in some kind of voice lesson since she was 10 and just graduated from one of the best performing arts schools in the state, where she went on a full scholarship since 6th grade. She has a YouTube channel where she sings and she's starting to make money from and was accepted into some very prestigious music schools. Additionally, she's been working paid gigs for the last 2 years and makes at least $500 to $1,000 per week, more in the summers. She's even been the opening artist at a few concerts. I'm not trying to brag, I'm just saying she's an objectively good singer. Ava, on the other hand, is not a good singer. She likes to believe she is, and she might become one if she actually stuck with voice lessons or choir classes, but she always quits after 1 to 2 weeks because they're bullying her, quote unquote.
Aww.
And then in parentheses, giving constructive feedback. I've seen the notes her classmates and teachers give her. Ava also likes to sing very loudly and or at bad times. For example, if she feels that we're too quiet at the dinner table, she starts to loudly sing. It doesn't sound good, and I honestly don't know how she doesn't hear it. If you ask her to stop, she keeps going. And if you're blunt and say to stop, that she doesn't sound good, / we don't want to hear it, she keeps going and gets even louder just to annoy you.
Oh no.
If we're in the car and don't let her choose the songs, she'll loudly sing whatever she wants, not what's playing, to annoy us and responds the same way to us telling her to stop. The only person she listens to is her dad. A few weeks ago, we were trying to eat and she was singing again. I told her to stop and she refused, so I took her plate and told her from now on, she is no longer allowed to eat at my table. She can eat in her room, the backyard, her car, the garage.
This is actually really funny.
As long as we can't hear her from the dining room.
The backyard.
So
As long as we
until
can't
can
hear
behave
you.
appropriately at the table. My
Oh,
husband
that's
and I
fucked
argued
up.
about it, but he's not home for dinner, so there's not much he can do about it. Today, she was eating lunch with us and started singing again. I told her to stop, and she didn't listen, so I again took her plate and told her to eat somewhere where we can't hear her if she doesn't want to act appropriately. Ava argued that she's a better singer than Scarlett, and that Scarlett sings all the time. I was done with her bullshit, so I asked her how many times someone other than her dad has actually asked her to sing, not even paying her to be there. Just ask her to sing, or how many performing arts schools she's gotten accepted to. She's applied to many. She started to cry, and my husband wants me to apologize for being rude to her and is insisting I allow her to eat with the family again.
There's something so funny about this. So depressingly funny.
How old was Ava again?
Ava is 16 and the older daughter is 18.
It's hard because the way this is written, it's giving Scarlett is the golden child.
Yes.
And Ava is just like kind of
a
like
whole paragraph at the beginning about how amazing Scarlett is, how wonderful and talented and incredible she is. And then, the younger one is very attention-seeking.
Ava sucks, basically.
Yeah.
Ava's the worst singer. Ava sounds like dying animals, nails on a chalkboard. Ava's terrible. Like, it's almost like you're going on and on. It's like, well, no wonder she's trying to get your attention.
Yeah.
Because you dote on your other daughter and think this one is worse than mud.
Yeah.
Like, of course, she's just trying to, like, be praised in some way. And it's like, if you paid her attention and we're like, Ava, that's great. Like, I think you should keep going in your lessons to really hone your craft. Maybe she wouldn't quit. Maybe she wouldn't be singing nonstop. Maybe she wouldn't sing the wrong song. Like, she's clearly seeking attention because she doesn't get any.
Yeah, there's clearly a dynamic here that is
I need
at
a
play
pen.
behind the scenes that
I think it's because it's on
writer
paint.
isn't really telling us about, but is also telling us about by just praising the older daughter for sentences and sentences. I was like almost gonna skip it, but like it adds to the dynamic.
Yeah, it does. It's kind of one of those read between the lines where you're kind of deducing, is it annoying? Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
Would it drive me up a wall? 100%. And I think maybe saying like, you know, Ava, you're gonna have to eat in your room tonight until you can realize like it's just inappropriate to sing nonstop at the table.
Yes.
But at the same time, if Scarlett is sitting there singing at the table too,
right,
then Ava should be
Where'd
able
my
to
black
sing.
marker go?
Yes.
Even if she's bad.
Yeah.
There's so many like parents that have to lie to their kids, telling their kids that their art or blah 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 is beautiful and great and it actually sucks. That also kind of comes with being a parent.
Yeah.
And building your kid up, not tearing them down.
There are so many other ways to do it where you could mention, like, you know, if you committed to your lessons more, then maybe, like, you could also be at these
Also, I don't care if you are a good singer. You're not just going to start singing at the table.
Commitment aspect.
Unless, like, we're all doing it.
Instead of saying you don't sound good, or, like, who listens to you? Who's
paid you?
Who's ever asked you to sing for them before? Like, that's so mean.
That is really mean.
The top comment was, something tells me she's doing this to try and get attention. How obvious is it that you're so proud of her sister? How much praise and attention does she get? And how often is that done in front of Ava? This sounds incredibly obnoxious, but something tells me there's a reason she's doing it.
Yeah. Okay, good. We're on the same page. I could have seen it go either way, especially with Reddit sometimes. I could have seen it like, I could have seen it go like, no, not the asshole. Like, she should learn her lesson and realize it's obnoxious. So I'm glad other people kind of picking up, like, maybe it's a you thing that you're creating this, like, toxic competition between your two kids.
I think if she had worded it a different way, people would have been on her side.
Yeah.
But because it was so obvious, and, like, this is a child.
It's a kid.
Who is clearly, like, crying out literally
Who
for
did I wanna
love
draw?
and for attention and for praise.
Who
like,
did I
obviously
want to
there's
draw?
some bitterness and there's some jealousy there, and that's not a great quality, but it's hard to avoid having. Like, it's not her fault for having that.
No. I feel like that's natural. And thinking about the way I looked up to my older brother, of course she's going to look up to her older sister, and
I hate when they
she's a great
change
singer,
the
so
layout of
I
their
wanna
app.
sing. Like, I want to be like my older sister.
Yeah.
Even if it's not her thing.
Yeah.
But it's because of the way the mom has also treated the sister, put her on this pedestal, that she sees this as her only way to get attention, love, whatever she's looking for.
Yeah, she's like, singing is the route to praise and attention from my parents.
Yes.
Another comment is, everyone sucks here. Ava, just because she's annoying, she sounds annoying AF, and you because you're a parent and she's a child, and you've seemingly repeatedly told her she's not good at something she's passionate about, and not in a nice way. Encourage her to follow other pursuits, and definitely continue to enforce that it's inappropriate to loudly sing when people want a quiet meal. But brutally laying out that she's rubbish at the one thing she's passionate about and rubbing in her failure to succeed is pretty harsh, especially when it's coming from a parental figure, especially when it's followed up with, now go and eat alone. And then the OP responded that she's tried soccer and she's actually good at it, but refuses to try out for the school team. And with her tendency to quit after a couple weeks because the teacher tried to teach, we're not going to pay for her to join a club team. It just sounds like there is a dynamic at home that's creating a really big insecurity in this child.
No, my pen's
and
failing
like,
me.
Even if she is good at stuff, I feel like she's scared to really try and fail because that'll be more embarrassing than not trying and failing.
100%.
Because she's set up to this standard of like a perfect older sister.
Yeah. I was a quitter. Like, I did soccer, quit. I did hockey, quit. I did volleyball, quit. I don't know what it was. I think I had like performance anxiety, like public performance anxiety, and like having to like play a game in front of people. Like, the thought, nope. Like, I did dance too, and I literally quit right before the end of the year recital because I didn't want to dance in front of other people. I loved going to dance. I loved the community and doing it, but I didn't want to get out there and perform. Like, the fear of failure or embarrassing myself was like way bigger than my love of doing it.
Yeah, and then imagine that plus, like, all of these people watching already probably know the reputation of your older sister who's, like, opening for concerts and getting paid for gigs, and they're like, oh, here comes the ugly duckling, or, like, the black sheep of the family.
Yeah, that's hard to live up to that.
Like, yeah, she's annoying. I was so annoying, too, in high school sometimes.
Isn't
I think
everyone?
about. Yeah, I think so, but I was, like, a theater kid.
They're so cute. I was the horse girl. I feel like theater kid, horse girl, we're
Walk into a
right
bar.
there. We're right there.
Yeah.
2 peas in a pod.
So, I think she's the asshole.
I would agree.
And that's what Reddit said.
I would agree.
They labeled it asshole.
Was there any updates?
Well, the OP did reply.
Ooh.
What's the shorts policy?
A couple times.
Trying to defend, or did she
Really
kind of
just
realize?
defending her point.
Non-shorts
Like,
policy.
just saying, we've tried, it never works. At some point with her, I feel like you just have to be blunt. And then someone replied to her being like, you're blunt about the wrong things, though. Blunt is refuting her claims with Ava to be as good as Scarlett. You'd have to put the same sustained effort in she has. Raw talent means nothing if you don't work to develop it. Or no, Ava, Scarlett doesn't sing all the time because she understands that it's rude to sing while everyone's eating dinner. Blunt is not merely no one wants to hear you sing. So really, she was just doubling down.
Damn.
Yeah. I don't know if, like, maybe now she's thinking about it more, though.
Maybe.
Yeah, say the 10th.
That is a good point,
That
too.
was
It's
the
like,
9th.
your point isn't necessarily wrong. It's how you're delivering it.
Yeah.
It's like, well, Scarlett's so good because of all the years and effort she's put in.
Yeah.
If you put that same amount of time and energy in, you could be at that level.
Right. Instead of saying, like, well, people pay to hear Scarlett sing and no one's ever even asked you to sing before.
Like, well, has she had the opportunities? Who's seen her? You know, it's, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This is an interesting one. I hope we get an update on this one, actually.
I know.
I really do.
I would love it because this didn't happen in a vacuum, and I feel like this parent is sort of seeing it as it did, and then everyone else who's reading this can so clearly tell it, and I feel like sometimes you need other people to see what you're seeing and get that different perspective to realize, like, oh shit, maybe this is something deeper that I haven't considered, and she's not just an obnoxious brat who's doing this for no reason whatsoever except to annoy me. Her last comment on Reddit is 2 days ago, and it's got negative 67 points. Ooh. And it's saying, at a certain point, maintaining a relationship becomes a two-way street. If a teenager decides that they want to be repeatedly disrespectful to an adult, they shouldn't be surprised that they don't have a relationship. That's her last, like, most recent comment.
Damn.
I know.
Oh, so wild.
And another comment was like, she has found something she's good at. She just expects us to pay hundreds for club soccer instead of her school team, when she hasn't shown us that she won't quit after 2 weeks.
How much do you pay for the other kids' singing lessons?
Yeah.
Give it a shot.
She just, like, has no expectations for her. She has, like, the worst expectations for her.
Yeah, she's, like, kind of assuming the worst in her character, and it's like, give her a chance, and then if she quits the club team, then that's the last time you pay for any extracurriculars.
Yeah, she says...
Give her a chance.
And she said Scarlett doesn't sing at the table, by the way.
Oh, okay. So that's, like, a point I would make then, like, how that one comment even said. Like,
yeah,
Scarlett doesn't sing at the table, though.
Mm-hmm.
We would just appreciate it if dinner could be a nice, relaxing time. Maybe we have a conversation, but, you know, the singing at the table is not enjoyable for everyone.
You can put on a concert for all of us once a week, and we'll listen to you at a set-up time. Like,
we'll get some popcorn.
But would she even be willing to do that? Like, I'm not sure.
I don't know.
You know?
We need an update on this one.
We'll be waiting.
OP, if you're listening, update and get your shit together.
Her username is literally AITA loud singing. She made it just for this.
Just for this. Oh, man. Get it together, lady. Poor kid. Okay, up next. Another one of this week's partners is Talkspace. You guys know that promo
Is this
code
loud?
Space80. This
feels kinda loud.
is a little vintage. It is originally coming from October 28, 2015.
Whoa.
It's titled, A Year Ago, I, 27 female, broke up with my lying boyfriend, 27 male. Today, I found out that everyone was lying, and he was being truthful.
This is like the worst situation ever.
Okay, let's set this scene. Like, Imagine Dragons is on the radio.
Radioactive.
Miley Cyrus is just starting to act out, and you're like, what's going on?
This is... A year ago, I was about to move in with my first serious boyfriend, Josh, with whom I was head over heels in love with, when one of my closest friends said that Josh had shown them a nude photo of me on his phone when he was drunk during a party.
Oh my god.
5 or 6 more of my friends corroborated the story and told me that Josh also talked in extreme detail about our sex life when showing this photo. It was sickeningly detailed. This did not sound like Josh at all. When I asked him what the fuck was going on, he denied everything. He eventually got very angry and started calling all of my friends liars. At one point, he showed up at my place while some of them were visiting, and things got a little physical. It was really a very strange turn of events in my life. Josh seemed so worked up, and all of my close friends were calling him a liar. Josh had taken photos of me on his phone, which I know was stupid, but heat of the moment and everything. So I trusted my friends, and I broke up with Josh. It was very heart-wrenching. Josh begged me to believe him. He started tearing up, nearly punched the wall, and left angrily. I was really grossed out at the time, and I felt super conflicted. A few months later, I started dating one of the friends in the group, Alex, who had told me about Josh showing everyone the photo. All of my friends were pushing me to date Alex at the time. We didn't really sync, and it just didn't go past a few months. We remained friends of sorts. So today, another friend sends me a message that says he just wanted to get something off of his chest.
Oh my god.
Also,
The story about
you
Josh
can't come back from
wasn't
this.
true, and they were really trying to get me to date Alex, so they made this story that Josh showed nudes completely up. After talking to a few of the other people, including Alex, it's all come out that they were lying. It was this fucking orchestrated bullshit event that totally changed my life forever. Apparently, they hated Josh and thought he was bad for me and an asshole. That was my fucking decision to make. I'm shaking right now. I cried in the office bathroom for about 2 hours afterwards. I loved Josh so much. We were planning a life together, and I've been friends with that group since high school. What the fuck? I guess I'm supposed to stop talking to my friends, right? I cannot possibly come back from this and still talk to them, right? This basically nukes my group of friends. But how could I ever look at them again? Also, I need closure with Josh. Can I call him? Should I call him? Should I unblock him on Facebook and message him? What do I do?
Oh my god. Wait, to clarify the timeline, so did she find this information out like 9 years later?
It appears it was a year later.
How old were they again when this happened?
27 female. 27 female when this
These
all
were
went
like grown adults.
Yeah, and friends since high school. That could be 18, 17, 16, 15. So, like, it's likely at least 10 years of friendship. 10 years.
This is so deeply fucked up. Like, this is so manipulative. And, like, they were trying to control her in a way, like, to also put her together with this other guy. Like, they tried to, like, take someone out, put someone else in, like she's a little Barbie doll, and they could, like, switch out the Kens for her. Like, she isn't a real person. And if he really is, like, a shitty guy and a shitty boyfriend, and all of her friends felt that way, they could use real examples if that were the case. They could have used, like,
yes,
this is why we think he sucks. Like, we all want to come to you and tell you we don't think he's a good guy because he said this and that and whatever. But they couldn't do that. They used a made-up story.
Yeah, it's weird. I also think it's weird that Alex, the guy that they wanted OP to date,
Yeah,
was the one that then was like, here's the nudes, like, he showed me these nudes of you.
right.
Like, he was, how does the group not see, like, you guys, this is
He's
not
the manipulative shitty
a good guy.
Yeah.
This is manipulation, this is lying, this is backstabbing, this is gaslighting.
Oh my god. Sorry, this is so fucked up.
This feels like psychological torture.
Yeah, you would be so messed up for so long in your head about, like, if people are telling you the truth, because there is no world in which I would ever believe that a whole group of 6 to 7 of my closest friends would lie to me.
No.
And then the damage that would do to figure out that they did.
I don't know how I'm gonna
Wait,
paint.
so
I might not paint
Did
this.
she? Do we know if she talked to Josh and, like, told him?
So the top comment on the post, holy shit. Yes, at the very least, these people need to not be a part of your life ever again. Fuck. Nuke the friends. Find new friends. Even a life of bitter, friendless loneliness is better than one that involves these people.
Yeah.
Make no exception. Cut all contact. So gross. As for Josh, you should reach out to him. You owe him an apology for how things went down. I don't know if this will mean anything further will happen, but the conversation should be at least be him learning the truth about what went down. Yeah, unblock him from Facebook and write a long letter. If this goes unanswered, attempt to get the message to him through one of his friends. Good luck.
I mean, I agree that she should apologize to Josh, but I don't think she did anything wrong in believing this situation.
No, it's kind of like you can only process with like what's in front of you.
Yeah.
And when you have 6 people against one, like,
Right. 6 people that you spent like 10 years with.
yeah.
That I get that it sucks that she didn't believe him and he was telling the truth and like
Excuse me.
that put him in a bad situation, but they're the ones who did that to him, not her.
Yeah. And this is like one thing I have an issue with OP, and this might be like tomato. Closure might be the same as apology,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't think Josh like owes OP anything.
Right.
I don't think Josh owes you closure. Like for OP to be like, I want to reach out to Josh and like I need closure with Josh.
Mm-hmm.
I hope closure is like you apologizing.
Yeah.
And like
I gotta put this in a book to press down.
That was who you saw life with.
Mm-hmm.
You were moving in together. You were maybe envisioning marriage. Like you should trust your partner. If you don't trust, like obviously you break up, which they did.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, like it doesn't sound like you really heard him out. I don't know. It
Yeah,
might
from
be
his
a tomato,
perspective,
tomato.
it's devastating.
Yeah.
From both of their perspectives, it's devastating.
Yeah.
Like, the breakup would have been devastating for
His
both of them,
mouth is
but,
down
like,
too far.
also, yeah, to not be believed in the person that you love the most and, like, trust the most in this world, who's the partner that you're planning your life with, and, like, to be telling them and crying at them that this
Yeah.
isn't true and you didn't do this and you wouldn't do this, like, that's got to be so, so painful. And then the bonus
I'm done.
pain of like a
Bye.
year later being like, haha,